Check this out. About a month ago, a woman named Giovanna from Canada rented a GMC Yukon SUV to help her daughter with her college move-in. She picked it up from the Avis car rental at the Toronto Pearson Airport in Ontario, and she drove about 186 total miles across that weekend. Between driving to her daughter's town, moving furniture and boxes back and forth, and making an occasional stop for a hot and steamy Tim Hortons, the coffee, not the dude, she returned the SUV and went on her way. That is, until she checked her credit card statement and discovered that Avis had billed her more than $8,000 in excess mileage charges. According to Avis's records, Giovanni had actually driven the car 22,369 miles that weekend. Well, actually, it's Canada, so what they said is that she drove 36,482 kilometers. But they said it very politely. Now, a bit of simple math makes it very clear here that this is some kind of billing error, not a whirlwind weekend of driving across Canada, pounding Labatt Blue, and evading the Mounties. That sounded worse than it should. Friends, 22,369 miles is nearly the circumference of the Earth. In order for Giovanna to have traveled that far in the 3 days that she had the vehicle, she would have had to have traveled nonstop for 72 hours straight at an average land speed of 310 miles per hour. Clearly this isn't possible, so armed with math, Giovanna set about the task of getting a refund. And yet, she struggled. First, she contacted the local rental office for help and got none. Then she contacted Avis's corporate headquarters, which refused to issue a refund. She even asked Visa for help with the ridiculous charge on her credit card, all with no luck. It was only after the story was picked up by the local news that somebody at Avis finally picked up a calculator and said, "Oh, I guess this isn't possible. We should maybe look into this." You gotta love Avis living their corporate slogan here. We try harder. Sometimes, but not really. Avis eventually discovered that the problem stemmed from an incorrect odometer reading taken when the SUV was dropped off. Apparently, when Giovanna returned the vehicle, the person checking it back in recorded the wrong total mileage into Avis's system, and everything went haywire from there. Now, there are a lot of lessons for us out of this crazy story, but for me, the most important one might be how the little mundane things we do in our jobs every day that we often do mindlessly because they're so routine can cause huge problems for people if we get them wrong. Who knows why that odometer reading got entered incorrectly? Maybe that employee was distracted by a personal problem that day, and they looked at the dashboard too quickly. Maybe he noted the mileage correctly, but he punched it in on his tablet wrong because his fingers were cold. After all, as you might know, Canada has 4 unique seasons: almost winter, winter, still winter, and July. Nevertheless, let's take a moment and use Giovanna's misfortune to remind us all how important the little things are in our work. And because around here we focus mostly on helping leaders become better bosses, let's put this into that context. Never forget how much influence so many aspects of our work have on people's lives. If we skim an email too quickly, fly through payroll too carelessly, or fail to listen attentively, there's almost always a domino effect that can negatively impact others and that can turn into a big headache to fix. In fact, an argument can be made that it's not solving sophisticated problems or driving big projects that's a leader's most important responsibility. It's the little things. The day-to-day things. What we have to get right every single day are the little details and duties that few notice and that you do often, the things that make everyone and everything else around you work. So, slow it down, pay attention, be careful with the details. They tend to matter most. Oh, and if the next time you need to rent a car you want to consider someone other than Avis, here's my advice. Choose a national brand, preferably an established enterprise, one that stretches your dollar and is friendly to your budget. After all, if you end up with a bad car rental agency, it hurts. I would love to know what you think. Leave a comment in the box below, and if you liked this video, please share it. And don't forget to subscribe to get all our BossBetter videos and content every time something new is released. Thanks for watching. See you next time.